Hello and welcome to round 14 of the Spec Esports PS4 Tier 2 Pacific Series. My name is Expert and I'll be your commentator for this evening's race. We are here at the Temple of Speed, also known as Monza, for the Italian Grand Prix. The first race held here was in 1921 and is now the 5th oldest national Grand Prix race to be held in the F1 World Championship. 5.7 kilometers cover the track with 7 right-hand turns and 4 to the left, making a total of 11 turns. The lap record held around here is currently has Rubens Barrichello's name next to it with a 1 minute 21.0 set in a Scuderia Ferrari back in 2004. This year's race was won by the upcoming star of F1 Charles Leclerc, who had won the Belgian Grand Prix in the previous race. So I'll be your commentator for tonight's race and potentially for the rest of the series here for the PS4 Pacific Series Race Spec Esports Championship. I will be your commentator for probably the rest of the season unless I have some stuff that would unfortunately make me not be able to commentate. But we are going to have a look at the driver standings now. Coming into the Italian Grand Prix, we can see Curving Texas leads away on 274 points ahead of the Racing Point driver of Shumboy 213. Can I point out as well, just before, this is my first time learning half the people's names, so if I do get it wrong, I do apologize. We have Sedan 0991 currently in third in the Red Bull on 121 points. He has currently got a 92 point difference between the Racing Point driver of Shumboy and himself. Then we've got the two harsh drivers of Kick Butt Kiwi and Artie Shangs. That's actually a kind of sick name. Then we have CRZ Footy, who is currently on 60 points, sitting in position 6. Misty Graffin in 7th. In 8th for Renault, I believe that's Renault. Oh, sorry, that is a reserve driver. I apologize for that. The first reserve driver of Scar Souls is currently sitting in the top 10, which is really good for him as well, sitting in 8th. Then we have the other Red Bull driver of Kid Million F1, who is currently on 44 points. Then in 10th, rounding out the top 10, who is, Kism, if I am correct, on 37 points. Then we have in 11th place Kelt, who is a McLaren driver. Then we have Honest Crooked in the Mercedes, Renault driver of Aussie F1, Williams driver of Ken Tenma, El Tonki in the Red Bull, or he may be in the Toro Rosso. I'm not too sure. They're both all Red Bull logos, so they could all be. I'm not too sure if they're in the Toro Rosso or Red Bull. I will confirm that for you when we jump into the race. Then we have the Ferrari driver of Barbsy, Racing Point driver of the Big Steves 45. 18th place, one of our reserve drivers, Smokegrass 92. Another one of our reserve drivers, Mars 360 Light, who is sitting in 19th. And rounding out your top 20 is Warrior Wasp. We're going to head over to the constructors' standings now. We have here, as you can see, the Haas F1 team, who are currently leading the Constructors' Championship in the T2 Series, 283 points. And then they closely are followed by the Racing Point team on 229 points, sitting in second. Alfa Romeo, who is sitting in position 3 in the Constructors' standings on 207 points, just getting over that 200 mark. And then you have Red Bull, who is a little bit behind at the moment, who is on 165. Then we have Ferrari, I apologize for that, Ferrari on 115, Toro Rosso on 57, Williams in 36. Then in position 8 we have McLaren on 34, the Renault F1 team on 31, and a rare sight to also see as well, the Mercedes F1 team currently at the wooden spoon or the bottom of the constructor standings on 16 points. We're going to wait now, and hopefully the drivers have all readied up. Unfortunately they have not, so we're going to sit here and wait. But this will be my first race as well, commentating for the Spec Esports Pacific Series Tier 2. If you would like to join the tier, there is a F1 tier and an F2 tier that will be decided by the league moderators of who gets put into what league. But if you would like to join, there is a link in the description below that if you would like to join the league, just do the Google Doc and they will get immediately notified that you are trying to join the league, and they will tell you what to do from there. If you are also new and you would like to keep up to date with every announcement that gets told about this league, join our Discord server. The link is pretty much right below where you sign up there as well. And then also, if you look below that, there is also a link to the socials of the Spec Esports Series. There is the Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So go give that a like and follow. as well, but I can hear now in the background that the drivers are beginning to ready up, so we are about to get underway for qualifying here for the Italian Grand Prix. If I am correct, I do believe it is a short qualifying session, so that will be around 17-18-ish minutes if I am correct, but we will see when we get in. We are loading into the lobby now for the Italian Grand Prix around here, Monza. This track obviously requires little to none downforce, downforce coming on the straights. There is practically no corners or practically no fast speed corners around this track, or slow speed corners around this track, I should say. I'm sorry, I'm a bit rusty at the moment. I do agree. We have it look like we have a pretty high amount of people who have joined this afternoon's race, so that will be good. I'll let you know how many people have joined it when we get into the lobby. I'm assuming drivers are just selecting if they would like to use the balanced or the softer or the harder compound of tyres. Waiting for the drivers to load up now. As you said, as I said before, the first Italian Grand Prix held around here was in 1921. Which is also known now as the 5th oldest national Grand Prix race to be held in the F1 Formula 1 World Championship. I'm going to quickly bring up the spectator menu and settle this up for you. We're going to put that on best, enable, blah, blah, blah. We currently have 18 drivers here this afternoon, so that is actually, from what I've been told, a really good turnout for the Tier 2 league. So hopefully they can bring a really good racing this afternoon as well. We'll have to see how that goes. As you can see, drivers are beginning to get out now. They've put on their setups and they are all coming out now. As you can see, the Ferrari driver there, I think that is Scarsols. If I'm correct, that is Scarsols. It's going to take me a bit to learn who everyone is as well, so I do apologize for that in advance. Sorry, I'm just going to bring up the stats to make sure my stream's not lagging. Alright, cool. Okay, so as you can see, majority of drivers have come out of the pits now. As you can see, Scar Scholes is out in his Ferrari. The McLaren driver of Mars 360 light as well. We're going to go back as well quickly while the drivers are coming in. We're going to go back to the driving championship here to have a look to see who could potentially be up the top of our leaderboards after the qualifying session. It could be the harsh driver of Curving Texas as well. He seems to be a little bit ahead of Shumboy coming into the race. I'm sorry, I did not so we have Shumboy sitting behind him in the racing point, and then Sedan in the Red Bull. So those three could be potentially fighters here for this afternoon's race. I know El Tonki has had zero practice coming into this race, so that's not going to be ideal. I saw as well the driver of Ken Tenma. He was also in the Toro Rosso. Actually, no, he's in the Williams. Sorry. He's in the Williams. He's still in the pits. He was doing a bit of time trial before the race as well, so we'll see how he goes. But we're going to ride on board with Mars 360 Light, who is going to start his first lap here, if I do believe. Yes, he is. We're going to ride on board with him for the first lap here around the Italian Grand Prix qualifying session. Braking at turn 1, he broke a little bit earlier there than I thought. He would have turned it a little bit earlier as well, unfortunately, so that's going to hinder his run. He's made a few corrections going through that corner, so that's not going to be ideal for his first few second corners there. Coming down the straight as well now. You want to keep as tight to the inside as you can, as he just tried to do a run a little bit wider than I think he ideally wanted to do. Break the 100 meter board, get this car turning nicely, runs really wide there, unfortunately, so I think his lap is nearly over, unfortunately. He might put him down back to around 12 at the moment, but as you can see, majority of the drivers are out here for the their first laps as well. Only a couple drivers remain in the session. Runs a little bit wide through the second Lesmo there. Coming up to Ascari now, under the old Monza circuit, the old Monza Bowl, as they call it. Break of the 100 meter board, turn in nicely to that first corner. Didn't run too wide, runs a little bit wide on exit, I should say. Very narrow on exit as well, so I don't think this is going to be an ideal lap for Mars 360 Light here. He'll be wanting to go out again and try and perfect the lap a bit better, if I have to be honest. Our other drivers on their out lap or on their fast laps at the moment. We're going to ride on board with Scar Sols as he comes up into Parabolica, the final corner now. Breaking the 100. Oh, he's broken really deep at the 50 meter board there. Mars sets the fastest lap, a 1:24.768. He's going to come across the line now. Scar Sols in the Ferrari. What time is he going to do? Open DRS. He's going to go to pole position at the moment with a 123.398. He's moving out of the way to not get in the way of the Racing Point driver, if I was correct there. Then CR2 Footy goes to pole position with a 122, but is quickly misplaced by Smokegrass in the McLaren with a 120.3 as well. So, as you can see, Sarso's getting out of the way of his teammate in the Ferrari of CRZ Footy. Have a look at the provisional pole position sitter at the moment on a 120.3, who is Smokegrass. As you can see, we are going to go down to see if someone else is on a flying lap. I think here we have El Tonki, who is also on his first lap. His Sector 3 was a 55 flat, so that seems to be a decent time. Coming into Parabolica now, break the 50-meter board, runs a little bit slow into the corner than I think he ideally wanted to be. Probably could have kept up his rolling speed a bit longer, as Mars 360 Light is unfortunately disconnected from the session. Del Tonki has gone into P7 in the Red Bull with the 123.5. He is unfortunately a little bit of pace. So as you can see, 3.1 seconds off the pace, unfortunately, is Del Tonki in the Red Bull driver. The two Racing Point drivers has now set time, a 122.2 for Kelt in position 4. That puts him into position 6, who I think right now Chumboy is on a lap. I think, if I'm correct, this is the second lap on this set of tyres, on this set of mediums as well. First two drivers are also on the soft tyre. Kickbutt Kiwi and Smokegrass in the McLaren and Ferrari. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1, but this should not hinder Chumboy's lap at the moment. We're going to ride on board as he comes through the final part of Scarring now. Down the straight, you want to make sure you get all the gears upshifted nicely at the optimal rev limit. He hasn't got much ERS to play with here, as I think this is his second lap on the these set of tyres. I think that is Golden Alpine, who is unfortunately retired from the session here. He's going to come across the 9 now as Shumboy. He's going to go into position 4. Actually, no, he was already in position 4. He's going to move down now to P5 as Curving Texas has now moved into position 4 in the Haas, who is on a 1 minute 20.9. Sorry, no. That was Ghost 01 in the other Red Bull, who has now moved into position 3. I do apologise. A 120.9. Currently, Smokegrass is in provisional pole position with 11 minutes remaining in the session. He is a little bit ahead of second. It is about 4 or 5-ish tenths at the moment from Kitbuck Kiwi to Smokegrass. I'm always going to mess that name up. Kitbuck Kiwi. I'm always going to mess that name up, unfortunately. Knowing myself. Honest Crook in the Mercedes goes up into position 6 on a 1 minute 21.6 as well. If I'm correct, actually, yeah, he's getting out of the way here. Or he may have even been blocked there, unfortunately. Yeah, I think he may have been blocked. He may have been on that. But I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what happened there. I wouldn't be surprised if he just got blocked out. I didn't see what drive that was, unfortunately. Andy Kane moves himself into position 7 in the Williams with a 121.8 on the soft tyre as well. Ghost 01 GT is currently the first of the runners using the second softest tyre that the drivers are available to use this afternoon, the medium tyre. And then we'll move down into position 10 here, who is CR2 Footy, who is using the hard tyres as well. He's the first of the hard tyre runners, who is unfortunately 2.4 seconds off the pace now, so I'm not too sure. He may want to try and use the medium tyres to move himself up the grid order a little bit, but ideally you would want to be sitting around the 7th to 8th mark if you're using a hard tyre. Well, ideally you would want to be at first, but if you're using the hard tyres, you don't want to get caught up in the people that are using the softs, because they're obviously going to be faster. Oh my god, I've completely screwed that up. I do apologise for that massively. I've accidentally bumped a hotkey on my keyboard, and that has completely put back to my standings. I highly apologise for that rookie error there. But anyway, now that you guys can actually see the track, we have Smoking Grass currently on pole position with a 120.3, who is actually starting his second lap here on the soft tyres. Kitbuck Kiwi is currently in position 2 with the Ferrari. Then we have Ghost 01 GT in position 3, Curvin Texas in 4th. 5th is Shumbo at the moment, who is the Racing Point driver, who is the 3rd of the runners in the medium tyre. Ken Tenma, who is about to start a lap, he's on his outlap now, if I am correct, is currently sitting in P6 for Williams. Mercedes of Honest Crook in 7th. 8th is Kenny Kane in the other Williams driver. The Alfa Romeo driver of R14 is currently 6th. Actually, he may be a Ferrari. No, he is a Alfa Romeo driver. I do apologise for that. He's currently sitting in P9. One of the medium runners as well now. Kelts is now also in position 10 in the Racing Point. He is currently the second of the Racing Point drivers at the moment. Then you have CR2 Footy, the first of the hard tyre runners, who has now come out of the pits and put on the medium tyres. So he's obviously realised that the hard tyres are not the way to start the session. There's 8 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the session. Warrior Wasp in the Haas sits in position 12. Scar Souls in the Ferrari. 14th is El Tonki in the Red Bull, who I think is about to start a lap here. He's trying to get himself a bit of space from the driver in front of him. Mars 360 Light in the second of the McLarens. His teammate is currently on pole position at the moment, down in position 15. Toto in the Renault, who is 16th, who I think is actually finishing the lap here. He's going to get a little bit of a tow here from Scar Souls, I think. He's able to sit there. Scar Souls did give him a lot of understeer coming on the exit of that corner. I think if he really wanted to, he could probably put in a little bit of a protest there, but it doesn't anyway affect his time too much as he stays in 15th there on a 3 seconds off the pace as well. He sets a 1 minute 23.5. Then you have Mars 360 Light in position 16, then Misty Reitman in 17th, and unfortunately for Golden, Alpine here is unfortunately retired from the session early. I'm not too sure what happened there. There are a lot of drivers at the moment who are out on track there, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers who are currently in the pits out of 17, so there are a lot of drivers on the track at the moment trying to set their second to third potential lap at the moment, but is still smoking grass on pole position. So we're having a bit of issues here with the replay system here, unfortunately. It wouldn't let me go up drivers from on script, but anyway. Yeah, Kitbuck Kiwi, I think, it actually is not on the lap. This is out lap play. Actually, no, I think he just finished the lap. He's getting out of the way of the driver now, as you can see. That was the Racing Point driver of Kelts, who is currently sitting in position 10. We're going to ride on board with him. I think he is on a fast lap. He is. Gets through the second Lesmo nicely, running nice and wide. He's all the track available. Open DRS coming down this Monza straight now under the Monza bowl there. That's used to be the old turn 1. Coming through Ascari now, runs really wide there, and Shumboy has unfortunately retired from the session as well. So runs actually really wide there, Kelso. I wouldn't be surprised if he invalidated his lap time there. He's down in position 12 now. He's on the soft tyres. He's going to be wanting to move up positions as Curving Texas in the Haas driver moves up into position 1 now with a 119.9, 4/10 faster than Smokegrass 92. And now, as you can see, the Racing Point driver comes across the line, moves himself into position 5, 2 positions ahead of his teammate, who was unfortunately retired from the session, who is Shumboy, who is currently sitting in position 7. He obviously did not want to set any more laps. Curving Texas, who is finished his lap, obviously now, who is currently sitting on provisional pole position with 5 minutes remaining in this session. I do apologise as well, sorry for leaving the championship standings up there. Completely my fault. Smokegrass 92 in the McLaren still sits in provisionals P2. He is in the pits at the moment. Kitbuck Huey in the Ferrari. Actually, no, I don't think he's in the Ferrari. I'm trying to have a look. The colours for the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari are a bit hard to see, but I think, yeah, I actually think he's in the Alfa Romeo. Sorry, Kitbuck Huey is in the Alfa Romeo, currently sitting in position 3. Then we have Ghost01 GT, who's currently on a lap. We're going to ride on board with him here. He's on the soft tyres. He's going to be wanting to potentially move up a few positions. Coming to this first chicane here, nicely got through there. Coming through the first Lesmo now. Break just after the 50-metre board. Run it out wide for the first lap and get back to the apex, which he has nicely been able to do. Hit this apex nicely. This corner is not about entry speed, it's completely about exit speed, as you've got this really long straight here. Coming into Ascari, which you want to set up for. You want to keep the car as straight as possible to get the maximum amount of top speed. Break the 100-metre board, turn in nicely there, doesn't corner cut, which is nice, doesn't use all the track that I think he would like to. He gets a lot of oversteer on exit on the final part of the Ascari there. He's coming down the straight now, coming into Parabolica under the Emirates walkway there. Break just after the 50-metre board, run it out wide for the first one, try and bring it back, which he unfortunately was not able to do. Uses all the chuck and exit. He's going to come up to the line. He's in overtake at the moment. Not in hot lap. He's going to come across the line. Goes into position 2. Does go 0-1 up. And Kirby Texas is still the only driver that has managed to get into his 119 at the moment. He is sitting in pit lane. I'm not too sure. He may want to come out and set another lap. Here the top 5 may I point out as well are all on soft tyres. And but Kiwi, actually that was not Kiwi. As I said, I'm never going to say that right. Shen Tenma coming across the line now, coming through Parabolica. This is his out lap. He's going to be starting a lap now. He might get a little toe from the driver in front of him. I think just finished the lap. We'll have to get out of the way. We're going to ride on board with him here. Coming into turn 1, the Ferrari driver gets out of the way. Braking nicely, doesn't lock any tyres. I'm not too sure what assist you're allowed to use here in the Tier 2 category. I know Tier 1 is no assist available to use. But he might get a little bit of a tow here from the driver in front of him. I believe that is a Renault, if I'm correct. No, that is an Alfa Romeo. My apologies there. Coming through the second chicane here. Clips the curves nicely there, doesn't use too much, doesn't unsettle the car. Brake just after the 50 metre board. There is a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, so hopefully this does not hamper his qualifying lap. Brake at the 50 metre board, get on the gas nice and early, which he should be doing. Coming down this long straight now, opening DRS. He's actually in hot lap right now. He's got a lot of ERS to use at the moment. Coming under the Monza ball there, braking at the 100 metre board. Nicely done, coming through Ascari now. Nice and smoothly done from Ken Tenma, who is going to be wanting to move up position. He is on the soft tyres at the moment. CRZ Footy is currently the first of the medium drivers, but as you can see, Scarsoul's at the bottom there. In the Ferrari has actually gained himself a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking. So that's unfortunate for him, as Smokegrass is now retired from the session. He doesn't think he's going to be able to get any faster as Ken Tenma and the Williams moves up to position 6 on the 4th row of the grid for the Italian Grand Prix. We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this session. Most drivers will be heading out to set their final laps now. Kevin Texas, our current pole position driver, sets out now. He is the only driver currently in the 1 minute 19s. He's on his out lap at the moment, but we're going to ride on board with a driver that might be on lap. I think these drivers are both on their out lap, wobbling for position at the moment, as you can see. The CRZ Footy, who has actually gone onto the soft tyres now. So the entire top 10, except for Shumboy actually at the moment, will be on soft tyres. Starting Grand Prix, as you can see, Kirby Texas gets out of the way there of the Ferrari driver of CRZ Footy, who I think is on the controller, if I am correct, just looking at my steering inputs there. Very smooth on the controller now, coming through Lesmo 2 now. Runs a little bit deep there, he loses the back end very slightly, but that's not ideal for his run coming down the back straight here. 1 minute and 20 seconds remain in this session. Most drivers are going to be setting their fastest laps now as the track has warmed up. Break the 100 metre board, get the car turning very nicely, which he has done. Coming through the middle part of the Ascari. Don't use too much curve there or run too wide, because you will lose the rear end very easily, as CRZ Footy managed to just hold on to. Coming into Parabolica now. Runs a little bit deep, slides the car out wide. That's going to hamper his climb a little bit, unfortunately. He's going to come across the line now with 50 seconds remaining in the session. He is going to move himself up into position 3, and now Scarsoul has moved up into pole position in the Ferrari, who is now on a 119.5, the second driver to be able to get into that 119 mark. He is way ahead, actually. He is just over 0.4 of a second ahead of Curving Texas in the Haas. The Haas driver, Curving Texas, is going to be wanting to set an absolutely perfect lap here. He's going to be starting his lap now. He's actually got to hurry up a little bit here, as he's only got 17 seconds to cross the line. He's going to be really close here to see if he gets across the line here, is Curving Texas. If you're going to be able to get across the line, he will be the last driver to cross the line. He will be able to start his final lap. He will be the final driver to complete a lap here this afternoon in the qualifying session. The Italian World Prix qualifying session is now, the checkered flag is now out for the session. As you can see, Curving Texas uses a lot of curving coming through turn 1 there. You're going to have to see if he's up on his time when he comes across the first sector split. The Scarsoul is the man to beat at the moment on a 119.5. Can anyone get into that 119 barrier as well? He is 0.22 hundredths of a second up on his previous time, so that's not going to be enough if he wants to be able to get ahead of the Ferrari driver of Scarsols. Runs a little bit wide there than I think he ideally wanted to, but he's coming down the straight now. As you can see, yellow flag in sector 3, so hopefully that doesn't muck up his lap. Coming to Ascari now, breaks really deep in the corner, gets the car turned in very nicely, uses all the curb. Hopefully he doesn't slide the car, and he gets a little bit of oversteer. As you can see, CRZ Footy in the Ferrari. It is currently a 1-3 for Ferrari here at their home Grand Prix. But can Curving Texas make a difference here? Coming around Parabolica now, coming onto the straight. He may get a slight toe from the driver in front of him. But is he going to be able to take that pole position of Curving of Scarscos? He does! He manages to get a 119.3 in the Rich Energy Haas F1 team. It's actually not Rich Energy anymore, I should say. Haas F1 team. He manages to steal pole position off the Ferrari driver of Scarsol. So currently it is the Haas that leads the Italian Grand Prix qualifying session here, with the two Ferrari drivers sitting in position 2 and 3. Then we have Go01 GT in the Red Bull, currently sitting in position 4. There's only two drivers at the moment that have managed to get into the 1 minute 19s, and that is Curving Texas and Scarsols. Then we have Smoke Grass in the McLaren, who has rounded out your top 5, as you can see. Ken Tenma, as you can see on your screen now, using the Halloween helmet. Now I'll point out that Codemasters have recently released, comes in for position 8. Curving Texas takes pole position, but unfortunately Scarsols has a 5-place grid penalty, so that's going to put him down to around position 6, as he was unfortunately given a 5-spot grid penalty for illegal blocking. So that's going to move CRZ Footy into position 2. Then we're going to have Ghost in position 3, Smoke in 4th, Kickbutt Kiwi in 5th, and then it should be Scarsols, and will be 7th. It will be Misty Graffin in the Toro Rosso, Williams driver Ken Tenma, Celts in the Racing Point, Shimbo in the Racing Point, which will give the 2 Racing Points position 9 and position 10, rounding out the top 10. And Shimbo was the first driver on the medium tyre, so he's going to be one to watch out when it comes to strategy this afternoon at the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. But the drivers have headed back to the pits, about to start the Italian Grand Prix now, nearly about to start the formation lap. I don't know what the Renault car's doing there. He's going the wrong way down the pit lane, so I'm not sure what his intention was there. But anyway, if you're on your round here as well, guys, please do hit the subscribe button down the bottom of your screen as well. And turn on notifications to always get notified when the F1 2019 Race Spec Series, Esports Series, is gone live. I'm going to bring up chat to see if anyone is talking in chat. I do apologise again for the issues with the stream. Hello everyone, welcome in the stream. Hello Kalios, GG Gaming King, welcome to the stream. The drivers are starting the formation lap here. As you can see, Curving Texas took pole position coming into this Italian Grand Prix here. We're going to make that position change, turn that on. Yeah, it was Curving Texas that took pole position here for the Italian Grand Prix in his Haas F1 team car. Then we have CRZ Footy, who is in position 2 here, who qualified position 3, but his teammate unfortunately gained himself a 5-spot grid penalty, which put him all the way down in position 7. Goes 01 Gaming GT, goes 01 GT, who is in position 3 for Red Bull. Smokegrass in the McLaren. 6 different manufacturers. Not manufacturers, teams in the top 6, may I point out as well. Hello Chuddles, welcome to the stream as well. So we currently have Go01 GT in the Red Bull, the Smokegrass 4th in the McLaren, Kickbutt Kiwi in the Alfa Romeo for position 5. On the 3rd row as well, Misty Graffin in the Toro Rosso. Then we have Scarsols, who is not pulled away from the grid. He may have a issue or may have made contact with the driver, unfortunately, so that's not going to be ideal for his tyre temperatures. Then we have Ken Tenma in the Williams in position 8, Celts position 9, the first of the Racing Point drivers, then his teammate directly behind him in position 10, Ardal Shengs, position 11, Honest Crook, the first of the, and the only Mercedes driver here, may I point out as well. He's going really slowly, so I'm not sure what he's doing there. He may have an issue. He may have an issue here, unless he's trying to let everyone through, but you're not supposed to pass on a formation lap unless the driver clearly has an issue with his car, which he has slowed down massively, so I think the drivers were permitted to pass in there. Then we have Candy Cane, who is still on the grid in his Williams in position 13. El Tonki for the Red Bull in 14th. Warrior Wasp 15th. Mars 360 Light, who is still in the pit lane by the looks of it. I'm not too sure what's happening there. Then Golden Alpine, who unfortunately was unable to set a lap for this Grand Prix, sitting in position 17. Then Toto in the Renault rounds out your top 18 here for the PS4 Pacific Series Race Spec Esports Tier 2 here this afternoon. We are about to start the Italian Grand Prix here. If you are new around here, please do subscribe, as I said before, and turn on notifications to always get notified when Race Spec Esports does go live. We're waiting for Toto at the moment to form up on the grid. We're going to ride on board with Ghost 01 Gaming coming into turn 1 when this race starts. We're waiting for the race director to start the light sequence here at the Italian Grand Prix here. There is 27 laps ahead of these 18 drivers here. The light sequence is about to start here for the Grand Prix. Here we are, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. They are underway here for the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. As you can see, Curving Texas gets a really good start. Coming into first position, he's now getting pressure by the Ferrari of CR2 Footy. They're going to go side by side coming into turn 1. There is 3 wide backpack there. As you can see, there may be contact as Curving Texas manages to get into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. CR2 Footy is now into position 2. Kitbuck Kiwi is in position 3. He's moved himself up. There is an Alfa Romeo into the top 3. Then you have the Toro Rosso driver of Misty Graphic in position 4. Ghost Gaming, Ghost 01 GT. I apologise. And they made contact. There's been massive contact there. Ghost 01 Gaming just completely pile drive the Kitbuck Kiwi in the Alfa Romeo. I'm not too sure. They may have had a brake failure, unfortunately. But that was, by the looks of it, that was completely the Red Bull driver's fault there. Ghost 01 Gaming. That's put him all the way back down to position 16 and 15. And Kitbuck Kiwi there. That's very unfortunate for him. Toto moves up into 14th as well from last from the grid. He's unfortunately run really wide there as well. So we're going to run back to the front drivers now. As you can see, Curvin Texas starting to pull away from the Ferrari driver there. Then we have Misty Grafen in the Toro Rosso, currently sitting in position 3. Then you have Artie Chenks, moved up a lot of positions actually, moved up 7 positions, who is now getting passed by Smokegrass, who I think got caught up in a lap 1 incident, and they made wheel-to-wheel contact there. That's Artie Chenks, and he has unfortunately got wing damage now, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got wing damage there. He made wheel-to-wheel contact, got on the gas a little bit too desperately, and that let Scarsols, who unfortunately went down a few positions off the start, up into position 6. I don't think Artie Chenks is going to try and make a move here. Coming into turn 1, as you can see, I am not surprised if he did have a little bit of front wing damage there, but Scarsols has not moved any positions at all. He's still in position 6. He is fast enough for the top 2 runners, but the problem with Monza is once you pull away, it's very hard to catch back up. Once you get out of that slipstream and DRS area, it's very hard to catch back up to the front drivers, as it is completely reliant on the slipstream here. They are making contact on the 2 Williams drivers. Scarsols moves up into position 5 here for the Italian Grand Prix, as you can see. And now Artie Chenks is starting to put a little bit of pressure on the Williams driver coming down the back straight here. The Racing Point driver, and there's actually been contact down the back here. We're going to go have a look who that was. I think that was Warrior Wasp, who was sideways at the exit of the second Lesmo there. I think he made a little bit of contact with Shumbo there. I'm not too sure. I saw a Racing Point car getting in the mix there with the driver. As you can see, Kickbutt Kiwi is starting to put the pressure onto the Racing Point driver. He's going to try and go down the inside, coming to Parabolic. He moves into the first points paying position as Curving Texas set to fast lap of 1 minute 23.649 there for the harsh driver. He's starting to pull away. He's actually out of the DRS range at the moment to CRZ Footy. We're going to put this to interval so we can see who is in DRS range of each other. Smoking Grass is slightly within DRS range of Misty Grafton here, but Shumbo has unfortunately not been able to pass Kitbuck Kiwi there coming into turn 1. Now Tonki and Honest Crook and Artie Chenks are starting to get into a little battle here. We're going to ride on board. Well, actually, we're not going to ride on board. We're going to go have the target on Honest Crook, as you can see. Coming into the second chicane, they are all really close to each other. I actually think Honest Crook made slight contact there with the Alfa Romeo driver of Artie Chenks, and unfortunately Candy Cane has left the session, so hopefully he can join back. Warrior Wasp has earned himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple corner cutting warnings. Candy Cane is sitting in position 6 at the moment. So that's unfortunately going to drop him down a few positions. I'm not too sure what the AI are on. Yeah, I think here as well, Artie Cheng's unfortunately, going to be passing Candy Cane here. This is unfortunately going to put Candy Cane down a few positions. There's yellow flag in second 2. They're going to go back there. I think that's, as you can see here, the Renault driver of Toto just completely went into the wall there. As you can see, I think Golden Alpine unfortunately went really wide for the second Lismo there. Mars, I think, is having issues with his car at the moment. Anyway, the Renault driver of Toto completely drilled it into the wall on the exit of the Scurry, but we've got a tight little battle here between the Harsh driver and the Racing Point driver of Wasp and Celts coming into turn 1. They're going to go side by side. Braking nice and deeply. Celts seem to be the deeper braker there, but Warrior ended up getting ahead of the Racing Point driver to move up into position 14. Ghost 01 GT is going to have to try and move up a few more positions to get back up into that top 10 area, which he qualified in. He has no ERS to play with, unfortunately, so Candy Cane's going to start dropping down positions as Ken Tenma has unfortunately gone down to 4 positions from position 8. He's got DRS now on Shumbo. The Shumbo's also got DRS on Altonki, and now Altonki's also got DRS on Kickbutt Kiwi. So we're going to have a massive battle pack here. 4 position 6, as you can see, off Honest Crook leading. And as you can see, the Kickbutt Kiwi has completely put it in the wall there. Coming through Ascari, he just completely lost the rear end and lost his front left tyre and suspension and ripped off the front of that Alfa Romeo car. So that's very unfortunate there for the Alfa Romeo team. That's going to move everybody up a position. So a lot of drivers seem to be losing the rear end very easily on the exit of Ascari there. But now we're going to have a massive battle back. As you can see, Shumbo gets down the outside of Altonki, but there's also another battle of Honest Crook and Artie Shengs for position 6 for the lead of this battle pack at the moment. Honest Crook gets overtaken by Artie Shengs in the Alfa Romeo car, as you can see. Celts has gained himself a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting as well. Anyway, as you can see, Artie Shanks is going to be on his way, catching up to the Ferrari driver Scarcells, who is currently starting to form a little battle pack behind Smokegrass and the McLaren, but Curving Texas and CRZ Footy are starting to pull away from the drivers behind. There's yellow flag in sector 2. I'm going to try and find that, and that is the Haas driver of Warrior Wasp, who has lost it again, if I'm correct, through the second Lismo, so that's unfortunate for him. Celts all the way down in position 13, but we're going to go through the order as it is at the moment. We have Curving Texas currently leading the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza, who is 1.6 seconds ahead of CR2 Footy in the Ferrari, as you can see. Smokegrass is starting to get a little bit of pressure, as you can see now. Scarsoul tries to go down the inside of Misty Graff, and I actually think they made a little bit of contact there, unfortunately, so that may have given Scarsoul a little bit of front wing damage there, but Smokegrass has not pulled away at all from this battle pack here. Then you have Honest Crook, who has managed to get it back ahead of Artie Shanks here for position 6. But then you've also got Shumbo, who is going to begin to put some pressure on the Alfa Romeo driver of Artie Shanks. Altonki is starting to feel the pressure from Ken Tenma in position 10, and Ken Tenma is going to start feeling the pressure from Ghost 01. Unfortunately for Candy Cane, if he's able to join back, his Ghost driver's not driving too slowly. So that will, he may potentially be able to get back into the points paying positions. Celts down in position 13, as you can see by himself. Toto has left the session, unfortunately. He had a DNF, so there was no real point of remaining in the session. Warrior Wasp has spun out, if I'm correct, 2 times now, coming to the second Lesmo. Hopefully he can get it right this time. He seems to be having a lot of oversteer, so he may have potential front wing damage. Gets to the second Lesmo neatly then, finally, Golden Alpine down in position 15 at the moment, as you can see, and Mars 360 Light, who I think is having technical difficulties at the moment, is currently your final driver, who is currently in 18. As you can see, Scarsoul's has now been passed by Mr. Driver for position 4 as well. Honest Crook has corner cut that first chicane massively, and Artie Shanks is going to get all the invitations he needs to go down the inside there of the Mercedes driver. Coming into the second chicane now, as you can see, Honest Crook is going to be right behind him, coming through probably the slowest part of the track at the moment. Slowest section. Warrior Wasp has gained himself a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. He's going to be nearing disqualification if he's gained that much already. This is on strict corner cutting, may I point out as well. You see Honest Crook trying to get as much slipstream as he can from the driver in front. Then you got Shumbo MV8, who has unfortunately fallen off a little bit. He is still within DRS range of the Mercedes driver, but he has fallen a little bit too far back now to get the slipstream that he would want. El Tonki is by himself at the moment in position 9, then you've got his teammate Ghost 01G2. So he's starting to move up a few more positions, back into position 10, the first points paying position, who unfortunately has no ERS to play with, so I don't know why he's in hot lap at the moment. Ken Tenma beginning to chase down the Red Bull driver of Ghost. You have Candy Kane's AI driver. Kelts has moved up a position into position 13. Warrior Wasp in position 14, Golden Alpine in 15th, then Mars, who is currently having technical difficulties. Curving Texas definitely seems to be leading this race. Definitely seems to be owning this race, I should say. He is now extending his lead even more from CRZ Footy. Last time we checked, it was around 1.8 seconds of a second between the two drivers, and now it is 2.4, so he has gained around 5-6-ish tenths at the moment. Honest Crook in the Mercedes has gained himself 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. CRZ Footy by himself at the moment. I think this is going to definitely come down to strategy at the moment. They are both on the soft tyres, and who can manage their tyres the best. Snowgrass is finally pulled away from Mr. Driver at the moment in position 3, so I think he is out of the DRS range, which is that's not going to be able to give him any DRS or slipstream. Shumbo in the racing point earns himself a 3-second time penalty. Scarsoul's Ken Tenma as well gains himself 3-second time penalty. Drivers obviously struggling with track limits at the moment. Scarsoul's in position 5, who will be wanting to potentially try and make a move coming to turn 1 here. He's running an overtake. He's got no ERS to play with at the moment, so I would definitely be putting that down if I was him. Yeah, as you can see now, he has moved it down into 90 ERS. They're going to be trying to catch back up to the McLaren drivers. You can see Misty Grafing gets a really bad entry to the first chicane there. That's all the invitations Scarsoul, that's the only invitation Scarsoul will need. Coming down this long right-hander here, this is actually counted as the corner. Turn 3. Coming into turn 4 now. Brake at the 100-meter board. Clips his apex nicely as he has. And as you can see, Mr. Graffin's gone really wide there. And then that's the only invitation Scarsoul's need. Goes down the inside here. Through Lesmo 1, they are still side by side. Coming into the second Lesmo, and Scarsoul seems to I've got ahead of the Toro Rosso driver there of Misty Griffin back into position 4. These two are the ones that are definitely the main battle pack at the moment of Smokegrass, Scarsoul and Misty Griffin. Honest Crook still has the pressure from Shumbo, who is going to try and make a move coming into Ascari, as also Smokegrass earned himself a time penalty as well. I think that was 3 seconds. Honest Crook has now been passed by the Racing Point driver of Shumbo, and he's going to have a lot of pressure now from the Alfa Romeo driver of Artie Shames. Coming into Ascari now. Breaking a bit early there. Honest Crook has run really wide. So Artie Shames is going to have a really good run coming down the straight here. I think he has front wing damage, unfortunately, there. He seems to be understeering a lot on exit there. Ghost has moved up into position 9 for the Grand Prix. He has overtaken his teammate El Tonki. I'm not too sure, there's a little bit of team orders there, but I think El Tonki might be pitting here. The first of the pitters. Actually, CRZ Footy is now coming to the pits. He's going to be trying to do the potential undercut on Curving Texas here in the half. So if I was Curving Texas, I'd probably potentially pit on this lap. It is very early in the race, may I point out too. It is only lap 10 of 27. So these drivers are going to have to stretch these soft tyres, medium tyres, sorry, out a very long way. So Curving Texas can either pit now if he really wants to, or try and stretch these soft tyres out as long as he possibly can. Warrior Wasp gains himself another 2-second time penalty. If I am correct, that is now up to 6 seconds worth of penalties for the Haas driver. Riding on board here with the race leader, seeing if he is going to come into the pits this lap. I think he is, by the looks of it. He is going to come into the pit lane here. Hopefully, I think Scarsouls may be coming into the pits as well. If I'm correct, he is. Scarsouls is going to come into the pits. No, he doesn't actually. He decides to stay out. So he's going to go into the net lead of the Italian Grand Prix at the moment. Then you're going to have Misty Griffin right behind him as well, in position 2 for the Toro Rosso team. Shumbo elects to stay out as well. He's on the soft tyres. Scarsouls and Misty Griffin are the first of the soft tyre runners, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do decide to pit. They must seem to not have too much wear at the moment. As you can see at the bottom right hand of your screen, I think Misty Griffin may have a little bit of damage to his car. Shumbo is the first of the soft tyre runners. Then you're going to have Honest Crook, the second of the soft tyre runners. And then Artie Shanks, who's actually fallen off a little bit here, so I think his tyres are starting to wear out here, unfortunately. So he's on the soft tyres as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Alfa Romeo driver in the pits this lap. Curving Texas, who is on the hard tyres, which has made the pit stop. He was in the lead of this Grand Prix and is still leading CR2 Footy, but actually, Footy's actually caught up a lot there. It was around 6/10 he just gained in that pit stop, so just pitting that one lap earlier, that has actually gained him around 5-6/10 there to the net race leader of Curving Texas in the half. Smokegrass now in position 8, who is on the soft tyres as well. If I'm correct, he has pitted as well, so he is elected to go onto the soft tyres. Curving Texas, when he made his pit stop actually, he went onto the hards, and CR2 Footy went onto the soft, so that's going to be interesting to see. In theory, CR2 Footy should have the grippier tyres, but they shouldn't last as long as the hard tyres, so we'll have to see how that ends up going towards the end of the race here. Misty Griffin elects to stay at another lap on those soft tyres, so he's going to be really feeling it now coming through the second chicane here. Then you got Shumbo, who was on the soft tyres, so you're not expecting him to pit anytime soon. You would think around lap 16-ish he would probably pit on the soft tyres. Same with Honest Crook, who was on the soft tyres. Curving Texas with the net leader of the race. CR2 Footy, who was in net second. Smokegrass net third. Candy Cane, who was unfortunately lagged out of the session. Scarsouls, who was on the soft tyres, who has lost a lot to Smokegrass there in the pit stops. Ken Tenma running around by himself, coming into the second chicane on the soft tyres at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him in anytime soon now. Artie Shanks, who has dropped off massively. Actually, no, he has made a pit stop onto the soft tyres here, as you can see. So he's going to be chasing down the Williams driver of Ken Tenma for position 9. Ghost 01 GT. I'm going to select this stop so we can see who's made a stop. He has made a stop onto the soft tyres. Everyone has pretty much made a stop now, except for the front 3 drivers and Candy Cane, who was disconnected from the session, who has actually been passed by Scarsouls for position 7. Now there's yellow flag in sector 3. Ken Tenma has actually retired from the Grand Prix here, so I think he has actually gone into the wall. We're going to ride on board here with Tonki, who I think he has lost it on the exit there of Ascari chicane. He has done what many drivers have actually done here this afternoon. Lost the rear end on the exit of the Ascari chicane, which has put him all the way back down. Well, actually earned himself a DNF for the Italian Grand Prix here, unfortunately. El Tonki, at the moment, who has made a pit stop, he is elected to go onto the hard compound tyres. Kelt's on the soft tyres, who has made a pit stop. So the only people we are waiting on for now is Honest Cook and Shumbo, as Artie Shanks has decided to make a pit stop now. Sorry, Misty Griffin. We'll have a look to see what tyres he is going on. He is elected to go onto the soft compound tyres. He is going to be making a move to P7 now, passing the ALI driver of Candy Cane. Curving Texas is in the net lead of this Grand Prix at the moment. You can have a look actually to see who has set the fastest lap of the race. It is Curving Texas. There is another yellow flag in sector 3. Is that the McLaren driver of Smokegrass? He has been it in the wall, like 5 other drivers have this afternoon. So he's going to have front wing damage here, unfortunately, for the McLaren driver. I'm going to have a try and have a look there. He doesn't actually look to have too much damage visually, but he could have a little bit of damage in the middle of his front wing. We'll see if he gets his lap. As Starsoul's now set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's going to be chasing down his teammate of CRZ Footy. Starsoul's is elected to go on the soft tyres, so is his teammate. Curving Texas is on the hard tyres. But as you can see, CRZ Footy is actually catching up to Curving Texas, who is on the hard tyres at the moment, so clearly soft tyres are definitely the quicker tyre at the moment. So we've got CRZ Footy catching Curving Texas and Starsoul's catching CR2 Footy. So currently the fastest driver at the moment is Starsoul. Honest Crook is still yet to make a pit stop, who is going to be getting caught by the net leader of Curving Texas at the moment. As soon as CRZ Footy manages to get into the DRS range of the harsh driver, he should be able to gain and catch up to him really quickly as well. Honest Crook, I think we'll see him in the pit lane this lap as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the pit lane here. I think he is coming into the pits now, as you can see. Actually, no, he doesn't. He elects to stay out another lap here. Smokegrass has now gained himself a 3-second time penalty. That adds to his unfortunate bad day. As you can see now, CR2 Footy has DRS on the harsh driver now. Starsoul's has still got 7 seconds from the 2 net leaders of this Grand Prix at the moment. This is going to be down to the wire. As you can see, the Ferrari driver of CR2 Footy and then the harsh driver of Curving Texas. They are both on different tyre compounds. Curving Texas gone for the potential better wear strategy, but then CR2 Footy has gone for the better grip strategy, but potentially will not last towards the end of the race. Curving Texas is definitely struggling mid-corner on those hard tyres, but CR2 Footy is going to have DRS coming down the back straight, heading into Ascari. Will he be able to make a move? He seems to be a little bit too far back, unfortunately, at this time, but he has a lot of DRS to play with, unlike Curving Texas, who only has 16% to CR2 Footy's 52%. He's gaining a lot here, and he's only in low ERS mode, so Curving Texas definitely trying to save some ERS here. As you see, CR2 Footy got a lot of oversteer through the middle of Ascari. They elected to lift off the accelerator to not bin it like the other 5 drivers, 6 drivers I should say, in this Grand Prix. So that is not going to give him DRS coming down the straight. That is unfortunate there for CR2 Footy. Got into the dirty air of the harsh driver, and that made him lose the rear end midway through the corner there, and he elected to lift off the accelerator to keep it on the track basically and not lose his car into the wall like many other drivers have. Turned him really early there. I think he ran a little bit deeper than I think he ideally wanted to be there. But he's already back under a second with CR2 Footy, and now he's gone back, unfortunately, back to 1.3 seconds. Starsoul's now under 7 seconds of a second, just over 6 seconds now. So he's gained just over a second on his teammate CR2 Footy. Mr. Griffin seems to be a little bit further behind. Honest Crook's still out on those soft tyres. He's running really long into the Grand Prix here, as you can see. He's lasting very long on these soft tyres. We'll see how it goes with the Ascari chicane. Yeah, there you go. Honest Crook nearly loses it on the midway through the Ascari chicane, so I wasn't really surprised there, as he will have a lot of tyre wear, but Curving Texas, I think, would actually want Honest Crook to stay out a bit longer, as that will give him slipstream and DRS, which will help him save a bit of DRS, but I think Honest Crook should definitely pit this lap, as I think he is already running very close to the inside. No, he does elect to pit this lap. I think he will go. Actually, he's gained a 5-second time penalty, Honest Crook, for speeding in the pit lane, so that's unfortunate for him. CR2 Footy's fallen off actually a lot there. It's up to 1.5 seconds now from the harsh driver and CR2 Footy. He may have already used a lot of his tyre grip at the moment. He may. Since he slid on midway through Ascari there, that's unfortunately potentially taken off a lot of his tyre grip there in that soft tyre. But for Curving Texas, he has no ERS to play with at the moment, so I reckon he should run in probably 0 or low for this next long straight here, just to try and gain a little bit of ERS back So if CR2 Footy does manage to cap back up to the rear of the Haas driver, he will have something to defend with. There, as you can see, he's running in medium at the moment. I definitely would run low, as he doesn't have any pressure at the moment from the Ferrari driver. He's gone up to high, so I'm not too sure if he's electing to run a low, if he's electing to try and pull away a little bit more from the Ferrari driver and then save it, which it seems to be what he's trying to do at the moment. Then you have Scarsols down to 4.8 seconds, catching his teammate massively here in the Ferrari. Shumbo is now starting to get into a battle here with the Toro Rosso driver. Toro Rosso's going to drive. He's going to have a lot of slipstream here. I think he's going to want to wait for DRS. He is waiting for DRS on the front straight here, so if he can get off this corner nicely without understeering too much on exit, he's going to get DRS down this front straight here. Coming into turn 1, he's going to have DRS and slipstream to utilise coming into the straight. He unfortunately is a little bit too far back here to make a move. I think he's going to have to dive down the inside. No, he's just gone to half throttle, so I think Shumbo's trying to potentially save a little bit of ERS and fuel here. Warrior Wasp has gained himself another 3-second time penalty. He is going to be nearing disqualification for this Grand Prix. Down in position 13, the last of the runners in this race. See, Shumbo's now managed to pull away a little bit from Mr. Grafton. 4.3 seconds is the gap between the two Ferrari drivers. Now CRZ Footy managed to catch up around 4/10 in that last lap to the Haas driver. There is a yellow flag in sector 2. We're going to have a look. That's Shumbo actually, who has spun it on the exit of the first Lesmo there. I do not think he has any contact. If he had contact with anyone, it definitely would have been Misty Griffin. So unfortunately we did not get that on stream, but we'll have to have a look in the group chat after to see if there is any contact been made. All penalties will be read out to you next race here, next Tuesday at 7 PM Brisbane time, or Queensland time, or 8 PM New South Wales time as well for daylight savings. These races occur. There's yellow flag in sector 1. We're going to run a ball with Mr. Grafton here. Let's see what that was. Honest Crook now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. A 122.8. I think that was just the local yellow driver may have run a little bit wide there. Scarsols is just sitting at that 4-second mark. Unfortunately, he's not been able to catch CR2 Footy, his teammate. And CR2 Footy is currently sitting in around the 1.5 second mark behind the Haas driver of Curtin, Texas at the moment. They don't seem to be gaining or losing any time on each other at the moment. Scarsols runs a little bit wider. I think he ideally wouldn't want it. Misty Griffin, we're going to have to see if he starts to catch up to the Ferrari driver of Scarsols there. He is currently just under 9 seconds of the gap between him and the Ferrari driver. Honest Crook currently sitting in position 5, which has gained him a few positions, staying out that extra light length as well. On those soft tyres, on those medium tyres I should say, but he's elected to put on the soft tyres at the moment, so he might be going for a 2-stop strategy here, if I'm correct, because I definitely know that these tyres will not last to the end of this race. Smokegrass, who is 7.2 seconds behind the Mercedes driver in position 6, who is starting to get caught down from Marty Shanks, who's going to have DRS on this straight here. He's gone really wide as Smokegrass. Sector 1 there is also an incident, so we're going to have a look to see what that was. I think it was just another local yellow, if I'm correct. Yeah, it was. Well, we're going to run back on board Artie Shanks, who has gained a lot on the McLaren driver Smokegrass. If I am correct, Smokegrass does have a little bit of front wing damage, as he did lose the car on the exit of the Ascari chicane. Joe01 Gaming currently by himself at the moment. Then you have his teammate in position 9, El Tonki. Candy Cane, who is sitting in the last points playing position, which is actually his AOR driver at the moment, who is going to get caught very quickly by the two Racing Point drivers of Kelta and Shumbo. So that's going to be a potential fight at the end of the race for the final points paying position in position 10. Now we're going to have Warrior Wasp in position 13 at the moment. His who has actually been by himself from going to the race here. We'll have a look who set the fastest lap. If I am correct, this is Honest Cook, which it is, who has just recently put on a fresh set of soft tyres. CRZ Footy's actually caught up a lot. Curving Texas here is just under a second there, if I was correct. But unfortunately it's gone back to 1.3 seconds. There is 6 laps remaining in the Italian Grand Prix here. Warrior Wasp is now into the pit lane, as you can see, full Haas. Slow pit stop there from the Haas F1 team, unfortunately. You can see if there's any battles going on at the moment. The only real battle at the moment seems to be Artie Shing and Snowgrass, who are just sitting behind each other. Honest Crook gains himself 3-second time penalty, obviously pushing a little bit too hard on those limits. But he's starting to catch up to Misty Gryphon. It's 1.4 seconds. There, Shumbo now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix in position 11, so he's going to be catching Candy Cane very quickly, and he is now going to pass him to gain himself the final points bank position here, as you can see, into position 10. Artie falling off a little bit here from Smokegrass, who has unfortunately gone out of DRS range. Corner cuts the Ascari Chicane there a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a warning there. He's got a little bit of fuel to start saving there as well with Artie Shane. But at the moment, Curving Texas is not getting too much pressure from the driver behind him of CR2 Footy in the Ferrari. It is Curving Texas in the lead of the Italian Grand Prix here. Then you have the 2 Ferrari drivers of CR2 Footy and Scarsouls. Scarsouls is just still sitting around that 4-second mark from him to his teammate. Then we got Misty Gryphon, who is going to begin to get a little bit of pressure from the Mercedes driver of Honest Crook in position 5. Artie Shanks manages to get ahead of the McLaren driver, but also in the process gains himself a 3-second time penalty. We're going to ride on board here with Smokegrass. He's going to try and potentially make a move. Coming into the second chicane here, is he going to dive down the inside or not? Artie Shanks on the team to defend. You had a look there, did the McLaren driver runs a bit wide on exit there. So that's not going to be ideal. Runs into the gravel there, so that's unfortunate there for the McLaren driver, who was doing so good in qualifying, who managed to qualify position 3, but his race has just gone downhill since. Now you can see the Red Bull driver's caught right up to the back of him here. El Tonki's still a little bit too far behind to think about making a move. Getting really close is the Red Bull driver of Ghost 01 GT. He is still within DRS range. He doesn't have too much ERS to use, unfortunately. There's yellow flags in Sector 2. We're gonna go back. I'm not too sure what that was for. Yellow flags in Sector 3 now. So a slow driver, that is Smokegrass again, who's unfortunately run off the track on the final corner there. So that's just added to the unfortunateness of Smokegrass, who's going to now come into the pits now. I think he'll put on a set of soft tyres, potentially try and stay in that top 10 and go for the fastest lap to gain as many points possible for the McLaren F1 team. We're on board here with Artie Shanks. Moment who actually Ghost 01 GT was going to start putting the pressure onto the Alfa Romeo driver, but run really wide on exit of the second chicane there around Monza. That's unfortunate. So that's lost him a lot of ground to the Alfa Romeo driver. CR2 Footy is now back within DRS range. Will he have DRS on the straight here? Unfortunately, he won't. It is 1.0 seconds, so that's unfortunate. He was just out of DRS range there. Smokegrass comes back out in position 12 for the McLaren F1 team. He's going to be wanting to try and get back into the top 10. As you can see, CR2 Footy seems to take a very narrow line coming into the corner there, using the front wheels to slow him down rather than the brakes. If you didn't know as well, turning the car does slow your car down, so he's braking really deep in turn 1, but then also using the turning function of the car to slow down as well. He is still sitting at 1.0 seconds right now behind Curving Texas in the Haas. Will he have DRS at the moment? No, I don't think he does. He does not, unfortunately. Smokegrass gains himself another 3-second time penalty. So if I'm correct, that is up to 9 seconds worth of penalties at the moment. We have 13 drivers remaining in this Grand Prix. Cuts that corner massively to CR2 footy. He puts it into the wall and gains himself a 3-second time penalty. So that's unfortunate there, and Scarsouls now has gone past him, so he just completely lost it on exit there in CR2 footy, which is very unfortunate for him there. So now that is going to give him potential front wing damage. We're going to see if he does. Yeah, I think he does have front wing damage by the way that he went through that corner. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him in the pits this lap. No, he doesn't. I think he's going to try and just hold it out for the rest of the race, as Misty Griffin is starting to get the pressure from Honest Crook, who is on really, really old soft compound tyres at the moment. He's going to start to be battling the Toro Rosso driver of Misty Griffin. He's got DRS now. As Honest Crook, he's going to be just gaining. Coming into turn 1, will he think about a Daniel Ricciardo dive bomb? No, he doesn't. He opts to stay behind the Toro Rosso driver there. Runs a bit wide on the second part of that chicane there. Scarsouls unfortunately gains himself a 3-second time penalty there. So it's all going downhill at the moment for the two Ferraris. And if anyone that's definitely gained out of the two Ferraris squabbling there or having issues, it's definitely the Haas driver of Curving Texas, who has gained just over a 4-second lead now. Scarsouls, so he's going to be able to save a lot of ERS now. And he's only got around 3 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. If you include this lap. Smokegrass sets the fastest lap now, a 1:21, but now he's got to opt to get into the top 10 to be able to gain that 1 point extra, so he'll be able to gain potentially 2 points if he can get ahead of Candy Cane and Kelts. We're going to go down to see where he is at the moment. Unfortunately, he's got 4 seconds to Candy Cane's AI driver, and it's about 5-6-ish seconds at the moment from Smokegrass to Kelso. Unfortunately, I do not think he's going to be able to get into the top 10, but Warrior Wasp gained himself another time penalty here. I think he's got about 20 seconds worth of penalties at the moment, if I'm correct. As you can see, Curving Texas has now got himself a 5-second lead from Scarsouls here, who has got a 3-second time penalty limbering over his head, but hopefully he's able to keep that 3 seconds ahead of his teammate CR2 footy. Warrior Wasp getting himself another 3-second time penalty. He'll be really nearing disqualification at the moment. Honest Crook has managed to get ahead of the Toro Rosso driver of Misty Griffin. And now he's going to start pulling away, so the soft tyres definitely have worked in the favour of Honest Crook there, running very long into the race on the medium tyres. Then going onto the soft tyres, he still doesn't seem to be losing too much grip compared to Misty Griffin on those warm soft tyres. Misty Griffin was one of the first pit stops, actually one of the later pit stoppers on the soft tyres there, but seems to not have a lot of grip there. Honest Crook didn't seem to have too much sliding going on through that Ascari chicane there. But I think Misty Griffin is going to try and keep the pressure on Honest Crook here. I don't know if he's going to have the tire grip to be able to get ahead of the Mercedes driver, but he's definitely got DRS here and a little bit of ERS to play with. Unlike Honest Crook, who only have 20% remaining. It's going to be a battle coming to turn 1 here. As you can see, Honest Crook is losing a lot to the Toro Rosso driver. Is Misty Griffin going to dive down the inside here? Honest Crook defends the inside line, so that basically stops Misty Griffin from going down the inside there. Ghost 01 GT, I don't know why I keep saying Ghost Gaming, but anyway. CR2 footy is also gaining himself a 3-second time penalty there in the Ferrari, so it's really going downhill for the Ferrari drivers. As you can see now, we're going to go to the TV cam here. The two drivers of Artie and Ghost are going side by side. Coming into the second chicane, we're going to see if they make any contact here. They don't, unfortunately. Very clean racing from the two drivers. Much respect there given to each of them. Candy Cane is now disqualified from the session. Failed to use required tyre compounds, I think, if I was correct. That's his AOI driver driving as well. I don't think he made a single pit stop that entire race, so I'm not too sure. Yeah, that's very unfortunate there for Candy Cane. But now this is definitely going to be one of the battles here. As you can see, Artie Shanks and Ghost 01 GT. It is the last lap of the Grand Prix as Curving Texas sorry, I have come to him a bit late, has won the Italian Grand Prix here for Haas. Scarsols has come home P2. Then you're going to have CR240 coming home into position 3 for a Ferrari 2-3, as you can see. Honest Crook gains himself a 5-second time penalty, which unfortunately puts himself behind the Toro Rosso driver of Misty Griffin, who will come home in position 4. Honest Crook in P5, but we're going to go back to this battle here of Artie Shanks, who manages to, on track, get ahead of the Red Bull driver, but Red Bull driver had less time penalties than the Alpha driver there, so that puts him into position 6 for Ghost 01 there. Artie Shanks comes home in position 7. Shumbo's going to come across the line now for position 8. Then we're going to have El Tonki coming out of Ascari now for position 9. Smokegrass, who actually managed to get back into the top 10 there. If I'm correct, he currently has the fastest lap of the race, so he will gain 2 points, which he does have the fastest lap of the race. Kelts is a little bit too far behind. As you can see, Warrior Wasp, who is down a lap at the moment, he's gained another 5-second time penalty there. Does the harsh driver. So Smokegrass comes across the line now. Hopefully Smokegrass can keep the thing. Unfortunately, he doesn't now, I think. The Racing Point driver, which he does, Kelts manages to get into the top 10 there, which pushes the McLaren driver and just pushes the McLaren driver out of the points, which completely ruins his Grand Prix here. As you can see, the Curving Texas in Haas has managed to take the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. Then the 2 Ferrari drivers there have managed to get position 2 and 3. Awesome race there from Curving Texas. Led the whole way through the race pretty much. Will control the race as well. Definitely and thoroughly deserved that win today. But we're going to go through the finishing order, the provisional finishing order as it stands for the Italian Grand Prix round here, round 14. Curving Texas takes out the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza for Haas. Then you have Scar Souls and CR240 for the 2 Ferraris. Misty Griffin in the Toro Rosso. Mercedes driver of Honest Crook, who is definitely the best strategist guy here this afternoon. I don't think that makes any sense, but anyway. Goes 0-1 in the Red Bull. Into position 6, Artie Shangs for the Alfa Romeo team gets himself into position 7. Shumbo for the Racing Point gets himself into P9. P8 is El Tonki, and fortunately for both Racing Point drivers, they both got themselves into the points paying position, so that's going to get them some good constructor points there. That rounds out your top 10 here for the Italian Grand Prix here for the Race Spec Series Tier 2 PS4 Pacific Series here around Monza. Thank you guys heaps for watching this Grand Prix here as well around Monza. We really do appreciate it. If you are new around here, please do hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to always get notified when we do go live here for these races. But from now, my name's Expert. We will see you guys next time for, I believe, I'm not too sure what race it is. I'll quickly check for you. I will let you know. I actually don't know, because I think the calendar is a bit different. I'll let you know here. The next race is Singapore. So we'll be here next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Queensland time, 8 p.m. New South Wales time. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. We will see you guys next time.